Hi guys, Pastor Fred here. So, many of you might not be aware of what's taking place in our lives. Um, Jess and I have recently stepped down from the pastoral position that we were at Berean Baptist Church. There was no hard feelings. There was no animosity there. We were stepping through another door that God had opened. And the guy that God brought along to step into my role there, I'm praying that God uses him in a great way. He is a good, godly young man. However, I wanted to keep doing these videos. I wanted to keep up YouTube because it gives me an opportunity to teach, since I don't have as many opportunities to do that. So I am keeping the moniker Pastor Fred. And I hope you guys continue to tune in, and let me know in the comments, things that you'd like to hear about, questions that you have about scripture or social issues going on around us. I'd love to dig into things if you guys have something that's really pressing on you. So, if you watched the last video, Fault Lines Part 1, I introduced Vodi Bachum's newest book, Fault Lines, which discusses the rift that's forming in the evangelical church in America today over the social justice movement that's taking place culturally. Well, so in the first video we asked the question, we kind of gave the broad sense of what's going on and asked the question, is social justice biblical? And in this video, I kind of want to break down a little bit more, what is it that the social justice movement believes. and I'm going to use one word, and that word is anti-racist. And if you've been paying attention to the social justice movement or critical race theory at all over the last year, you have probably heard that word anti-racist be used. So that word was coined by a gentleman named Ibram X. Kendi, who posited that it's not okay to just be not racist. You have to be doing more. There has to be more. So he said you have to be anti-racist. You have to literally be fighting it every day, kind of thing, being an advocate. And so the only thing here is that we have to define our terms. Because if terms get changed, if definitions get changed, then we're lost. We've already lost the conversation. So racism used to be defined as one people group deeming their group as ethnically superior to other groups. And so racism could be seen in speech, it could be seen in actions, it could be seen in how somebody was being treated. But now, CRT, or critical race theory, and the social justice movement say that racism resides in structures of power, in systems of power, because certain people groups are oppressed by those systems and other people groups are benefited by those systems. So when they talk about anti-racism, they're talking about taking apart these systems and fixing these systems and changing these systems. I have no problem with changing systems that are broken, but when you start making the claims that everything in America is racist because everything in America points to white Europeans, there begins to be a problem. There begins to be an issue. And so based around that word anti-racism, Vodi Bachum actually calls anti-racism a cult. And I found that interesting because I'd never really thought about it from a religious standpoint. But he calls it a cult because they have tenets of their faith, they have speakers, so prophets, They have those who seek to make people keep in line with the tenets of their faith. So we would say, according to the Old Testament, it would be priests, and that they are pushing for this to be the redemptive, this to be the redemption for people. That our redemptive value comes in how much we can fight or battle racism. Only people who are oppressed, only people who are non-white are the ones who have the voices or who can speak on it. And so those of us who are white have to give credence to those voices to be elevated in our knowledge and in our understanding, because we can never have the same perspective as them. Which I understand that our perspectives are always going to be different from person to person. But to say that just because you're a victim means that you have the truth, that's a very subjective statement. That's not based in, it's not based in truth itself. It's not based in facts. And so this video doesn't so much as ask a question as it does just kind of give a little bit of information. You know, if you've heard the term anti-racism, or if you're curious about what some of the social justice or CRT believes or clings to, anti-racism is a good place to start and a good word to define. So just take note of that as we continue through these videos. I'll be breaking down a little bit more of some of this stuff. So let me know what you think, and as always, let's talk about it, guys.